Total Fusion Super League's Tea Party Tour of Britain, or as the popular abbreviation we now like to call it, TSFLPTOB. A lot of people didn't think I would get that out, but I have. Side note, it did just take us about 4 takes for me to get that right. I am a driver on the fun bus, Phil, with my co-host Mark, who's got a word from our sponsor.
Yes, hello, and tonight we're sponsored by Davidoff, the cigarette of choice for the discerning gentleman. We self-sponsor by tobacco.
And what better way to start this off with the madness of the T's in the abbreviation than us having a tee off? Now, I've rung a bit of a solid game, but I'll start with something bland. The fact that I'm wearing a T-shirt.
Ah, excellent. But I also have a T-shirt right next to me.
Okay. What else do you go? You go next. What else do you have with a T?
I have a tie.
That's quite good. What I can do with that is I've got a double. A tiny teacup. That's 2 T's. A tiny teacup.
Well, I think I can match that, Phil, because what I've got is not just one £10 note, but I've also got an old £10 note, the actual £10 note that James used to buy the Game World.
Is that true? That's quite true. What I can go with next, 2 tiny trolleys. That's 2 tiny trolleys. That's 3 T's. 3 T's.
That is trolley-ific.
Trolley-ific.
I can only come up with a half pack of 12 bites.
Right. I think that's enough for the tee off. I'm hoping you've done your research because I've done mine. As we start our tour, we are now Northern Ireland, and Ireland is where the fun bus is at this week. So there's 8 clubs. I'm going to go through 4. You're going to go through 4. So I'll start off really by an analogy or something I've been thinking about Northern Ireland and Ireland, in the fact that they're not far, they're quite close, obviously, borders. The accents. So in Northern Ireland, they seem more like, hey there, the day sales very globe. Whereas in Ireland, they're all like bubbly, Lord there. I mean, if someone from Northern Ireland was to say, "Oh, I can't believe it, I've won the lottery," it sounds so mundane. Whereas in Ireland, they could be like, "We've just been stabbed 53 times." It still sounds happy.
I can do it as Dags. Do you like Dags?
Which probably, if there's anyone Irish in the game, will probably going to hate us after this show. I'll start you off then. So what club are you going to start with?
Well, I'll start off then. So I looked into Coleraine, lovely little town in Ireland, managed by James Johnson. So a few little facts about James to start us off. Is he the youngest manager in TFSL at sweet 16 years old?
Ooh, right. Oh, so I don't know why I said right then. Carry on.
Also, James had a bit of a funny fact actually. When he was watching Shrewsbury West Ham last season at Shrewsbury, why anyone would go to Gay Meadow, I don't know. The name is gay and it's a crap ground. But anyway, he was going to the toilet when he bumped into Ian Wright and Alan Shearer, and he had a photo of him. I don't know whether he pissed on him, or they pissed on him, or there was no pissing involved.
If you're meeting men's in Gay Meadows toilet, there's questions going to be, and having photos.
There definitely have to be questions asked. But this is 2018, so if you are gay, James, no problems.
We like gay men.
We do. We do. And I couldn't find much about Coleraine because it's it's not a big town really. So I did try to do a bit of research. The nicknames are Bandsiders, and they play at the showgrounds. They sound like champagne. Coleraine Champagne, which is no surprise because it's actually a New Zealand wine named after the town, which is called Tobacco Estates Coleraine Cabernet Merlot.
Named after Coleraine?
Named after Coleraine, indeed, yeah. So that's my interesting fact about Coleraine.
Might be more interesting than some of mine about some of my places, but carry on. Carry on.
Oh, well, there's not much else really. That's pretty much all I've got on Coleraine. Well, they were formed in 1927.
I'll go with my next one. Before I go over it, my brother manages this team, but I actually know someone from the place. He's a big fan. I think I've got him in my phone, but I will say, he is the most cheesy bloke you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
I'll see what his name is. I think you know him. Oh, there he is. Derry Lee.
Your folks never get tired, Phil.
So Derry, Northern Ireland, they play in the Brandywell Stadium.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean it's a decent name. They play out of Londonderry.
yeah.
There's a bit of disputes over the years between the name. I
Mm.
believe Irish nationalists like to call it Derry, whereas the Unionists call it Londonderry. So which one would it be for you? Which one do you identify as Derry?
Well, I've heard
Londonderry?
of Londonderry more.
For me though, I think you've already got London, so why don't you just keep Derry? It's green
Yeah.
holding on to two names. Um,
Mm.
One of the nicknames, this is a good one, the Candy Stripes.
Excellent. So, what? How did they get that nickname? Were they stealing candy from children?
No, it's not what I found out. It's just because of their kit. But apparently, James, our sweet 16-year-old, was getting candy robbed from some Irish blokes
On the way to Gay Meadow.
all the way to Gay Meadow in the gay toilets. What else have we got? Oh, the Undertones are a big fan of Dairy.
Oh.
Teenage Kicks, that's a great song. Another one for James. Some facts about Dairy. Now, these, I'm not 100%. They were on the internet, whether they're true or not. Apparently, in Derry, everyone lives 3 doors away from their ma. This
Okay.
is because Derry's property market is boasted by a complex and never-ending system of house swaps, which
Ah.
which ensures everyone lives within 100 meters of their ma. It is estimated that Derry's Mars own 4.7 trillion housing market. I don't know if there's that much money in there. Here's another fact, and this is another fact. Every sentence in when you're in Derry, people say the word "hi" at the end of it. So it'll be like,
Okay.
"Oh, you're right there, Mark. Hi." And
Hmm.
this is where it gets a bit dubious. Apparently, Bruce Forsyth famously banned people from Derry coming onto his show higher or lower because they could only say "hey" after every answer. So he'd go, "Do you want higher or lower than a one?" And they go, "Lower, high." And Play Your Cards Right was the show. So I asked the manager for comments, who was my brother. So he's
Hmm.
given me a story and another thing. One of the things he told me, I know he did anyway. He said I used to play in the highest amateur level league in Swansea, which it's not really an accolade, so I don't know why he's painted it like that.
Yeah.
He got hit by a taxi at the age of 21, ran over, and then he was forced to retire. After that, he went on to manage the reserve teams, and he got them
Hmm.
relegated twice in 2 seasons.
Hmm. That's it.
But this is his story. Is sort of, I guess, fun fact, much like the other one. He was on a night out in Bristol, quite drunk, and he ran into J. Emmanuel Thomas a few years ago.
Aye.
He gave him a bit of stick for being an Arsenal youngster and said, you should have fulfilled your potential. Now you're at Bristol City and whatever. Um,
Yeah.
After that encounter, he told J. Emmanuel Thomas he was going to bet on him every week. As it happens, J. Emmanuel Thomas went on to score 8 in 10 goals, and my brother kept betting on him and called this the jet bet after J. Emmanuel Thomas, which he pretty much likes. Um,
Emmanuel Thomas ever scored again since?
I don't think ever again, no. I think he's ruined his career with a jet bet. One thing I'm going to ask now is, can you get onto Derry's team?
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I can.
Because there's a
I'll
player I want you to have a go at pronouncing.
Okay, I'm quite confident with my pronunciations, Phil, but let's give it a go. So, Derry City, here we are.
Right, so I want you to go down and click on the player. I think it's Leye, and then we'll click on his full name and we'll both have a go.
Is he a youth or is he older? What rating is he, Phil?
1 second, Mark.
What's that, Billy? Leye.
Yeah.
What rating is he, Phil? I can't seem to find him.
His name's Mbaileya.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, how do we say that? Yeah, Mbayle, I pronounce that.
1 second, Mark. I need to change to this. I want to try this out.
Okay, so we're going Sky Sports style.
Let me just see if you can hear me first. Right.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me through this?
Yeah.
There we go, that's fine. No, that's better. So yeah, I think it is MB Laya.
La.
La. MB
La.
MB La.
I'd say Mbele, but sounds better.
Right, so that's them done. So who have you got for me next?
Next, I got Glenavon. Lovely Glenavon. The Lurgan Blues, their nickname, or the Morn View Aces. I don't know why the Morn View Aces or the Lurgan Blues. I didn't really research, if I'm honest, Phil. They were founded in 1889 and they're managed by Andy Martin. Lovely fella Andy is. I couldn't find out absolutely anything about Glenavon. I googled to find out stuff about the town. There was absolutely nothing. So I just asked Andy for a little bit about him and I took some key pointers. So Andy collects movie memorabilia, particularly character figures. Sad bastards, really. And that's his words. I'll echo them. I don't know about you, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to be nice to people on this show, but I guess if you want to just, someone gives you feedback and then you say to him, sad bastard, that's how you want to play it.
Well, that's it. I mean, no, that was his words. I've actually got the message. He was an area manager for Blockbuster for 27 years, so he's obviously a big movie buff. And John McGovern, the ex-Forest two-time European Cup winner, came in every day for a movie and a chat while he was assistant manager at Argyle. Oh. That's a good fact. There's no interest in No, I'd like to know what his favourite movie was or something. Maybe he can in with that. Well, I'd imagine he could well be a Shawshank Redemption type of guy because, you know, Andy Dufresne, he had a slow walked a lot of care in the world. I think John McGovern was a bit of a player with a relaxed attitude.
Was John McGovern's favourite film The Shawshank Redemption? I think that's one we're going to have to find out by next week.
We'll try. Andy, if you know and you can get hold of us now, that'd be brilliant. And just sort of a last couple of things. He's coming up to 50 years old, lives with his 19-year-old son. He's very happy and his partner. I better get that in. And he played 25 years to a decent level, mostly on the left, and he's a Chelsea fan. So that's a bit about Andy. Unfortunately, nothing about the club because my Google search of an hour pulled up 0.
Right. Okay. So I'll move on to who do I want to do? I want to do him next. The next person we'll go on to is Dundalk. They play out of the League of Ireland Premier Division. Their nickname is the Lillywhites or the Town. Manager was Chris Stapps, who did say he was going to get back to me with some things, and then he got back to me and said he couldn't think of anything to say interesting. So I'm going to just make it up and say that he seems like someone who could juggle, possibly knives.
Yeah.
Chris Stapps, a knife juggler. There could be something in that.
I hope he wears gloves when he juggles his knives.
He's got bad hands. He plays SM like that with his
In juggling knives, I can't pick my team.
Right, so there's a bit of history. Dundalk roughly first started as a club in 1903 as the name Dundalk GNR, which stands for the Great Northern Railway. This was because the team were famed for having a number of passengers when they played, and there was only 3 decent players playing. That's not factually true. They finally recruited decent players and dropped the part of the name to just become Dundalk in 1930. But having said that, looking at the table this year, he's 15th. He may want to re-adopt having the railway name back on because I think he's let aboard a few passengers into his team recently. He's got a few quite good players. He's got everyone's favourite pyjama trouser wearing goalkeeper, Gabba Kirley. I think everyone remembers him from his Palace days. He's got Sakura, who's probably about 40. And one of the famous former players there is Steve Staunton. Now, I know we can all agree that Steve Staunton hit the pinnacle in football, but I think he was part of this team. So this is a story. It's not so much about Steve Staunton, and a few people might have heard it, about the Ireland World Cup team. So basically, the Ireland World Cup team were playing. I think it was I can't remember what World Cup. Staunton, I think, was in the team. And as they all got out, sort of lining up at the start, they were looking at their own. So I think the first person sort of line up noticed there was a woman with like massive tits. So he said, he goes, right, see that woman up there, middle row towards the top, massive tits, pass it down. So all the Ireland players passing it down the line. And it was Jason McAteer who was telling this story, and Jason McAteer said he's standing next to Roy Keane. Roy Keane is looking focused, hard, no shit, looking like that. So he says all of a sudden it's coming down the line, and he's starting getting nervous, going, "Oh, what am I going to say to Roy? What is it?" So it gets to him, and he hears it, and he goes, "I can't say that to Roy Keane before the match." So all of a sudden, Roy Keane has sort of picked up on this coming down the line, and he's picked up on the fact that McAteer's just had it told in his ear. So he turns to McAteer and he says, "What's the message?" And McAteer goes, Keep it tight first 10 minutes, Roy.
Fearing for his life, no doubt.
Also, I read up a little bit on Dundalk in terms of apparently 2 years ago there was a grand opening of a Tesco Extra where the grand prize was a £25, €25 gift card. So
Brilliant.
yeah, one local was quoted saying, "What a time to be alive in Dundalk."
These are the facts that we want to be hearing on this show, Phil. I got to step up my game for the next one.
Right, so that's two down from me, two down from you. Or yeah, you go to the next.
Okay, so next we're moving on to side that are the stronger side in the league because they're holding everybody else up. Bohemians, they're down at the bottom, managed by Danny Cogger. So I did a little bit of looking in. They were founded in 1890. They play at Dalymount Park. Got a couple of interesting nicknames: the Bows, the Gypsy, the Big Club. I don't know why. Maybe they like to say Dags. They like Dags. Right off there.
They like Dags. Mark, you've got to understand. They like the Dags.
Like Dags. And for those that don't know, that's a saying from Brad Pitt in Snatch, where Brad Pitt played a gypsy. Anyway, moving on. So, manager facts about Danny Cogger. Well, Danny was very kind and got back to me with a nice few bits and pieces. He recently finished a weekend FIFA World League and was ranked 83rd, which is pretty good. So, plaudits to Danny.
I actually play weekend league and I've never got anywhere near that, so that is quite a hard achievement.
Fishing, Phil, have you finished in the top 200?
No, like you're talking 100,000, maybe lower.
So guys, be careful if Danny's online playing FIFA. I wouldn't bother playing him. You're going to get mangled. Danny, obviously, must be quite well to do because he headed on to Dubai on holiday. Well, not sure when. Could have been a couple of years ago. But he met Jerry Francis out there, the ex-Tottenham manager, and he's a big Tottenham fan, is that, Danny?
Oh, I that was good.
Yeah, he bumped into in the street, and Danny's words were lovely bloke, shit haircuts. That. And then
that's short and sweet.
Going on the theme of doubles, if you get two trolleys, and the same day he bumped into David Bentley holding his kid. At the time, David Bentley was playing for Tottenham, but he was playing crap, so Danny just ignored him.
As you do. He's playing crap. I won't bother speaking to him.
This is that I really liked. Every time Danny logs in to go onto his side, he thinks of the Queen song, Bohemian Rhapsody, which is a classic. If I had half a singing voice, I would sing it for you, Phil. Maybe you could give us a couple of lines before I move on. I know you can sing.
You're putting me on the spot, yeah. No, I'm not going to sing.
Fandango.
Calamush, Calamush, can you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo. Galileo, let me go.
Right, moving on. You don't want to hear our voices singing, guys. So anyway, I couldn't find out much more, so I did a little bit of research about Bohemian Rhapsody, the song.
Why not?
Why not? He called the cowboy song. I don't know why they called it that. Luckily, they changed the name, and it was actually composed on scraps of paper. And the final fact on Bohemian Rhapsody, which is probably nothing to do with football, but I like this one. Roger Taylor actually locked himself in the tape closet because he wanted his song "I'm in Love with My Car" on the B-side. Got his way in the end, and I listened to it, and what a load of rubbish. If any songs, I apologise.
I will say, I mean, I like the fact, and this is what the show is all about. We don't want to stick always on football and always on TFSL. If we can go after having a guy locking himself
in a tape closet,
we're going to go off on a guy locking in a tape closet.
Aye, so Danny's also, pretty crap like, but he is building a young side, so I don't know whether he might want to head down to Gay Meadow and see James. There's a lot of young anyone's in there, so plaudits to Danny. I'm sure he'll come good in the next year or so, or next season rather.
I will go now with I'll go with the Crusaders. All right.
Oh,
so the Crusaders play out of Belfast. Their stadium is Seaview. Like the nicknames they've got, the Hatchet Men.
Ooh, you don't mess with them then.
Cut you down. Their biggest rivals are Cliftonville, who they contest the North Belfast Derby with. Trying to find facts about the Crusaders was quite hard because they play in Belfast, so it wasn't like a one area, and you can't really pin it down. So I thought I'd just find out some things about Belfast.
Yeah.
Oscar Wilde thought there was only one beautiful building in Belfast, and now today that's home to a Marks and Spencer's store. So that's a fact there. So Marks and Spencer's they've got an awfully good looking store in Belfast. Another one, Belfast's most famous food is soda bread, which is one of Northern Ireland's griddle breads. Apparently, there's a strong bread family in Northern Ireland called the Griddles, and don't fuck with them or you'll be baked. That's a tell one. They're probably going to be chasing you for your dough.
Thanks, Phill.
That's rubbish, I know. Anyway, the manager, Rennie the man, got back to me with the just mind-blowing things. Okay?
Yeah.
So basically,
is Rennie Dutch? Yeah.
Yeah, he must be with a theme of this. So he did tell me a story first. I'll tell his story because when they give you things, you wanna put him. So he was playing baseball with his friends when he was 16 or 17. They needed to make a home run to win the match. It was his turn. He was standing ready to sort of hit the thing, and someone threw it, and as it came, he hit a massively great shot. At the same point, he farted really, really loudly, like, and everyone just reduced to their knees laughing. He won the game, but he said it wasn't probably worth the fart. This is where it gets to the real goal, though. All right, of what things and the football things we're looking for. So when he was playing football in high school in a tournament, he played, which he didn't know then, in a team with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Whoa.
And then he's gone on to say, when he worked as a florist, he delivered flowers to a new house of Dennis Bergkamp.
Wow.
And I thought that was it. He'd give me two great bits of information, and then he came back to me a day later and said, like in the most casual way, "Oh yeah, by the way, I've worked with Edgar Davids." Like everyone has.
Yeah.
Edgar Davids has got a brand of jeans, Denim Dragon for kids. I think they're kids' jeans. James, again, some stuff for him. He's picking up a lot on this show.
Yeah. It's started the show.
So yeah, he worked with Edgar Davids and Edgar Davids' brother, which is pretty cool. So I mean, he's I think at the moment, Rennie the man's got to be winning. I mean, he's got Dutch legends.
That is brilliant. I mean, Rennie, props for getting back to this. There's some brilliant information there because are you done with Rennie's when now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, who you got next? Who's next?
Well, after Rennie's brilliant, I got Cork City, who were managed by Billy Suter. Billy just couldn't be asked getting back to me really, so I got no info about him. I'm sure he's a lovely fellow though.
Do you want to make a fact up?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Billy lives in Sutton because his name's Sutter.
Great, a good assumption.
And and he landed on soccer manager.
What's his favourite colour?
I reckon it's red. Don't know why.
What do you think he does for work?
Billy Suter. What does he do?
Soup
Probably.
Maker. He makes soup.
Yes, or works in Moss Bros.
Oh, why do people need to get back to us? We can make such beautiful lives for them.
It'd be lovely if you could get back to us. So Billy, no stress you didn't, buddy, because it was last minute.
We did do this awfully quickly.
I've just got a couple of facts really about Cork City. There's quite a bit because Cork is a big area. There was the usual stuff on their website about being the European Cup and all. It's no particularly interesting story. So
don't want that.
Kind of tidbits out about Cork as itself. And what I found out is they've had city charter for over 800 years, but there's been a settlement there since 700 AD. But nobody bothered to write down the exact date at the time, apparently.
There's always one in there.
Yeah, 700, 705, who cares? And here's a lovely one. Sir Walter Raleigh actually planted the first potato in Ireland, in Cork, in 1588.
Really?
He did, according to 5 different sources on Google.
That's quite significant because Ireland's, the home of the potato. Potato.
It is.
Potato.
So we got Walter Raleigh to thank in 1588, which was like 430 years ago exactly.
And how many potatoes later are we thanking him? That's the real question. Would you estimate?
It's quite a lot, Bill.
Over 300
million. And then finally, there's a place called Dursley Island, which is off the coast of the Beira Peninsula in Cork. And it has Ireland's only cable car, which, get this, it's licensed to carry 3 people and 1 cow.
So basically, someone's gone, right, everyone get on. Yeah, bring your cow. 4 people, no, that's not going to work. You get off. 3 people, 1 cow. That works. We're going. Is that how they measure things? Like,
I think so. I don't know. I don't know if you could take a dog instead of a cow, or a sheep instead of a cow. Maybe a cow.
Is it like one of these things in Cork where they're like, can I have a lift home? Oh, I've only got 2 spaces in the back. One of them's a cow. Sorry, mate, you have to get a taxi. Mate, I've got my cow with me. No, mate, we're not licensed to take that. You got to use one of them cable cars. All right.
Brilliant. So that's the Cork City roundup. Like I said, not a lot of info, so I do apologise about that.
Cable car. They measure in 3 humans and cow. Sorry, sir. How big is your car? Line up 2 humans and a cow. That's how we measure around here.
Brilliant. Right. You've got to love that. Fantastic. Moving on.
Right, have you done all yours now? Because I think I've got one.
I did. I just got a couple of facts just to finish us off with when you do your next one. Then
I've got Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah.
If you can get them up, because there's 2 players I want you to try and pronounce. These are belters. They play out of a place called Talagant in South Dublin. Their stadium is the Talagant Stadium. They're managed by Andy Guest, who I didn't hear anything back from. All I can derive from him and his name is that he's a good guest.
Nice and clean and tidy.
They've got a large support base, and they share an intense rivalry with Bohemian, who we've already featured.
Oh yeah.
Their club's director is Stephen McPhail, who used to be a Cardiff boy, I believe, the Irish midfielder.
Yeah.
The place name Talagant is derived from the Irish word Tamlecht, which means plague pit. So, yeah, that's not the nicest of us. But one thing is, again, a bit more. In the tallest hills in Talagant, there's a stone structure which is referred to as the Hellfire Club. And also, there's a tomb, and a passage tomb around there, which is known as the Fairy Ring, which I think is an awfully Irish thing to call it. Oh, we'll go down by the Fairy Ring. Me and me lady by the Fairy Ring.
That's sweet.
Right, so the 2 players, have you got their team up?
I've got a team up, Phil.
First one, if you click on his names, you get the first name as well. Maulana Verkey.
Right. So what rating is he, Phil? I got him, yeah.
Can you read his full name?
This is the 18-year-old wonder kid from Lechia Gdansk, if I'm not mistaken.
The common one. So what's his full name? Can you try that for me?
Oh, Iggy Mulana Vikri.
Iggy Mulana Vikri. Milana Vakrai. What I found is a pattern. Not a pattern, but so his first name is EGY, so it's like Eggy for me. If you look at the next guy in this team, Temenuskov.
And what rating is he, please? Oh yeah, I got him.
He's the only Mark. He's the only Temenuskov in the team.
No, I reckon I can actually pronounce this right.
Go on then. Full name.
Well, the first name is Kuhn, as in Kun Aguero.
Yeah.
Kuhn Temenuskov. Kuhn Temenuskov.
I think you've hammered that there. What I found funny, because I read these 2 names down, so when I'd written them down, I was looking back at both of these players, both of their first names, and I think if you put their first names together, you create a Scottish abuse word. Hey, look at you eggy cunt.
I love your way with words, Philip.
Hey, don't you mess with me, you wee eggy cunt. And I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, that is all I've got. So that is our 4 teams done each. That we have now, the fun bus has now toured Ireland and Northern Ireland. Is
But
there
we're not
anything...
just, yes, we're just in the car park. I just got a few facts on Ireland that I dug up. It's only going to take a minute, guys. So here's a question for you, Phil. Ireland is the home of Guinness, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
They don't actually sell the most Guinness in the world, Phil. Can you guess who it is that sells the most Guinness in the world?
I've been to the Guinness factory. Not that I know the answer to this. I want to say most Guinness in the world. Oh, let's just go for England.
Nope, you're not right, son. You only get one guess. It's actually Nigeria. Could you fathom that? And that's through multiple sources, and I've checked it out.
Is that
Nigeria, their Guinness.
That's got to be something to do with the use of the soup.
Possibly. I mean, it's a lovely drink. I'm a huge Guinness fan, but to find out that and to double, triple, quadruple check it was quite interesting.
That is mind-boggling.
That is quite mind-boggling, isn't it? And continuing the Nigerian links, St. Patrick is also a patron saint of Nigeria.
Oh, well, we're seeing a theme now, aren't we?
Yeah, well, I did read how he's linked to Nigeria, but I didn't write it down, so I can't tell you more on that. And just the last couple here, Ireland has won 7 Eurovision Song Contests, so they can obviously sing. They must be better than us Welsh, Phil, because Britain has got very few. And to finish off with last 2, moustaches were illegal in Ireland in 1447. So, Phil, you're lucky that you were born almost 600 years later.
In a different country.
In a different country. And just to leave this last one, I don't know if anybody has got the surname Burns in the game world, but an advert in the Irish magazine Buy and Sell in February 1999 read, "Gravestone, 250 quid, would suit someone with the name Burns."
Someone advertise that.
Advertise that.
Do you think someone's there going, hang about, I'm Burns, I could die? That's a bargain.
They might have bought their own gravestone when they died and thought, well, I've probably got a few years left and I'm skint, so I'll just sell it.
It's like, oh yeah, do you know what? I need a new TV. I'm going to sell that gravestone I bought.
Kudos for many making ideas. So that's my useless Irish facts.
For me, I'd like to ring up the guy and go, excuse me, could I just know, is it the size of a cow and a man or 1 cow and 2 men? I just need to know that.
And would you be allowed to plant it in Gay Meadow, I wonder?
Oh.
Centre circle.
Right, well, we did say we were going to keep this to 25 minutes, and we've gone suavely to 32. But that's to be expected. We took on a lot of clubs for the first show. To wrap it up, I hope everyone has enjoyed this first show. I don't know when this will go out, but I will be working on getting it out soon. As the photo work on it and video work is a bit patchworthy, but it'll do for now. If someone out there wants to do our logo and things a bit better, feel free. As long as it includes the fun bus and obviously the words TFSL TPOB. Bam, smashed it. Right then, so we'll wrap it up. So thank you, Mark, for joining me on this inaugural show, and we'll probably put out soon where we will be touring next with the fun bus.
Excellent. Thanks and bye, guys.
Bye for now.